Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Pearson Podcast Ep.7. This is going to be another one of the solo podcasts. I realize I wanted this podcast to be more of a solo podcast and have guests occasionally, but mainly solo. And I realized I only had two other solo podcasts. Those were my first two, and I've been realizing when I have other people on, of course it's going to be easier because I have people to, bounce thoughts off of. But, especially the people I've had on previously, which have been people that I know quite well, my best friends and my little brothers. So, I'm not really working out my solo podcast muscle, and this podcast, I am going to be trying to do that. Yes, I am handholding my mic for today. I'm gonna try and do something to rig it, because I look this way, and my mic has these legs, these triangle setup legs that can set down on a table or whatever, and I can set it down to my right. It just won't capture it as well. It's more of I'm not sure what type of mic, but you have to be really close for it to have the nice noise canceling, and which most mics are nowadays that you see in Minecraft podcasts. You see people, all the podcast hosts are like, be real close to the mic. You have to be like a fist away from the mic and stuff like that. It's crazy. Well, before I get onto that, I'm just gonna say right now, this is going to be me. I have like a few things written down just loosely that I scattered down before I hit record that I wanted to talk about, but this podcast and many more podcasts to come are going to be basically just working out my solo podcast muscle, because I realize I'm like, my voice got a little like this, and my voice is naturally like that, but so it's difficult for me not to get it really gravelly, which is, it's annoying, but that's me, you know what I'm saying? So let's see, but yeah, I just wanted to preface that, it's gonna be really rambly. You guys know my brain. It leapfrogs from lily pad to lily pad, so you never know where it's gonna go. But I hope you guys enjoy nonetheless. Alright, so I guess I'll comment on some things that are going to be coming up in the future. In 2 days, I'm going to be recording a podcast with my grandpa and his real good friend, the friend he's known the longest. I believe he's 76. They're both 76 years old, and they've known each other since they were 8 years old, which is mind-blowing, because I possibly my longest friend I've ever had is my friend Danny, but we don't talk much anymore. But the longest friend that I actually still talk to is Josiah, and he was on the last podcast. We're still really good friends, and he's an amazing person. But yeah, that's gonna be super awesome, talking to my grandpa. I call him Boompah, and to his friend Earl. We were actually supposed to, or me and Dallas were planning on going to Hawaii for a little backpacking trip. I believe we were planning on doing it February 16th, which is crazy to think. I don't even know. Yeah, it's like February 14th right now, so we would have been leaving in 2 days. crazy, but, and we decided on Hawaii because, my grandpa's friend Earl has a little hut out there that he graciously said that we could camp on his land. So that would have taken care of the most expensive aspect of camping, which is the house, of course, or the housing. And we would have just hiked around, done a lot of cool things. I was really excited and still am, but we decided we were kind of rushing that. So we decided not to do it then, but we are going to be doing it later on this year, hopefully. Who knows how the cookie crumbles, but yeah, so we're still planning on doing that. COVID, man, COVID just it makes everything more difficult in life right now. Like, I mean, everything. The flights to Hawaii, I don't know if it's probably different other places, but for Hawaii specifically, you had to get a COVID test, of course, and you needed to have done it within 72 hours of departure, and of course you had to do it from a list of providers that they wanted. You couldn't just go to, my local college or whatever and do it there. And I would have liked to do it there, one, because it's closer, and two, mainly because it would have been free through my insurance. So it would have been 100. I mean, I never got the final price, but I think it was like 150 bones. So it's like, come on. Like, that would have been a night in a hotel, cheap hotel, but a night in a hotel in Hawaii. You know what I mean? If it just wasn't COVID time. It's crazy. And then, meeting with friends, relationships, it's crazy. It's like, I mean, it throws a bone in the gears of everything, because it's like, you have to, one, trust that your friends are doing everything they can do to be COVID safe. And some people don't even give a ding-dong about this stuff, I mean, yeah, I know this is a touchy subject, and I apologize if, you don't want to talk about this, but this is going to be brief. I just think you might as well treat it seriously. I mean, I'd rather be wrong and be like, oh, wow, I really overreacted down the road, than to, not wear a mask and not do the very minimal precautions to, stay healthy. And because here's the thing, I'm a very healthy guy. I'm a very healthy guy, and I work out. I eat healthy for the most part. COVID, I would strangle it. Most likely, if it got in my system, I would strangle it and stomp it out. But it's not about you, It's about you getting it, not knowing you have it, and contracting it to your parents, your grandparents, your friends that, maybe have something going on. And it's like, and then your friends give it to their parents, and then spread. It's like, this is bigger than you. And if you, and I'm sorry to say it, but if you aren't treating it seriously, you're just being very selfish in these times. I mean, let's pray that this, doesn't last a long time. Let's pray it gets over, soon, but it might not. But I'd like to hope it does, and this, you do what you can for hopefully a limited amount of time, and when it's over, you guys can go on doing whatever you want. But you might as well take it seriously. I apologize. On to fun things now. So yeah, I'm for sure gonna be having. So yeah, Boompa and Earl. That's gonna be a super fun podcast. have only spoken to Earl very briefly on the phone, but I'm excited to talk with him because I feel like I'm gonna find a lot of similarities with him in myself as well, because well, I like going to nature. I enjoy the simple life. I just like simple things. And he, you know, he's done well financially, I'm sure. And he decided, I just want to live the simple life in Hawaii, in a hut, like nothing crazy. Like I really, really like that about him, and I'm excited to learn more. So you guys definitely look out for that. It's gonna be called Earl Jones, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna call it Grandpa Boompa Down Back. Not sure, but it's gonna be the one after this one. So I think this is podcast number 7, 8, something like that. So whatever it is after this. So yeah, that's gonna be great. And Dallas and Josiah are my best friends, so we're gonna be doing more of those for sure. More podcasts together. My grandpa graciously upgraded my Zoom account to the pro version, or the step above free, to where you can get more than 2 people in a Zoom call, which honestly I didn't even know you had to do that, but it makes sense. I mean, everybody in the whole wide world is using Zoom. They want to make some money with it. I get it, and you can record straight through the thing. I have the audio synced. It's fantastic. But yeah. So yeah, my grandpa graciously. I mean, I can't even. My grandpa is. I mean, I it goes beyond words. The feelings I have and the respect I have for my grandpa and grandma. I have 2 sets of grandpa and grandmas, my mom on my dad's side. I sadly don't get to see my Grammy and grandpa that live in Arizona. We see, every time we go in Arizona, I see them, of course, but I I live in Washington State, so it's difficult. So I never got to know them as well as I wanted to, and still can. I mean, they're healthy, and they're still kicking. And yeah, I definitely want to have a better relationship with them, but it's just difficult because they live in Arizona, I live in Washington, and I see them at best once a year if we go on vacation to Arizona, but haven't gone in a few years just because low on money, things like that, busy, things of that nature. But I've grown up since the womb. I've been right by my grandma and Boompa's side from the womb. I mean, and words can't explain how much respect. And I mean, basically, if you looked up in the dictionary or on Google words that describe amazing people, intelligent, responsible, respectful, nice, funny, all of those types of words. I mean, that's them. And I mean, again, it goes beyond words. The feelings I have. It goes beyond our 4 dimensions. Yeah. But yeah. That was a little got a little off track there, but yeah, amazing people. I mean, I am blessed in countless ways of the life I was afforded. I mean, just to have food every night, to have a roof over my head, to be warm when I sleep. I mean, I don't expect to win the lottery ever because, the equivalent of being born in my situation is, it's like I won the lottery 500 times in a row. I feel like that's the odds. I mean, my parents alone, they're letting me stay at home even though I'm 24 years old. And, even though the world right now for younger people is effed in the A, in the sense of if you move out, you have to dedicate alone especially, you have to dedicate your life to work. You have to go, work as much as you can, get home, tired as crap, you probably don't even have enough energy to work out. I mean, you do, but it's like you get home, you're drained, your back is a pretzel, and believe me, I have worked those jobs, and I applied to a job that will be difficult, and hopefully I'll get, just to get some extra money, but the fact that they have let me stay in this house and save money, and the big reason is just to try and achieve my dream. I mean, and I'll do the same for my kids. I mean, stay in the house as long as you need to be able to go in this world without struggling, because you shouldn't have to struggle through this life. I mean, there's hard work, and then there's life draining, wasting your life, donating your life to some job that just makes it to where you can live somewhere that's not your parents' house. And believe me, I probably don't actually know how fortunate I am, but I try every single day to live in this moment and realize how fortunate I am to be in this situation. I mean, and by no means are we rich or, middle class. Both of my parents work, and they work incredibly hard. Luckily, my mom has a great job that she likes, for the most part, and my dad is doing his dream by being a fitness instructor for our local hospital. In every sense, and it's not like my life is perfect, because if it was perfect, it's perfectly imperfect. Really, and I've had some very dark times and things that have happened to me, but that most definitely does not take anything away from the situation that I am in. And my grandpa sends me these quotes from a site called Abraham, and it's almost like a religion, without I don't like using the word religion at all, because that's such a negative connotation. You know what I'm talking about. It has a negative feeling about it, and but it's basically a religion. It's just a way of looking at life, I forgot exactly what the quote I was going to say, but it's something, but yeah, I don't even know why I brought it up, because there's no way I would have been able to remember the quote word by word, but it was something along the lines of, just find a way to like what you have, or make your life what you want. Completely butchered that, but hopefully you know what I was trying to get at. I don't even know what I was trying to get at, so hopefully you got something out of that 30 seconds of babblage. But yeah, every single day I try my absolute hardest to just be like, appreciate everything, try and do things for other people, that in doing so, it makes you happy because you're helping them out. I mean, I can't even tell you with my business, Pearson Visuals, this is just one example, how many free cover arts I've done, how many deals that have completely not been worth doing, and doing 10 hours of work for $200 or something like that. And in this, I mean, 10 hours of work, and then 48 hours of rendering, blah blah blah, technical talk, but it's like, that was just one example. And then free cover arts and blah blah blah, and just giving things away, and going downstairs and just cleaning the entire downstairs, or seeing something that my little brother's just some trash they left, some socks on the ground. You just accept it. You don't think, come on, they left the socks on the ground. They, the people, oh, come on, you don't have a high enough budget to pay me what I need, come on. Just help them out without expecting anything to come back to you. I mean, that, if you can feel good by doing things like that, I mean, it really it feels like you're not wasting time, because sometimes I get scared and anxious that I'm wasting my life. Just, the time, it just melts away, because I think back, I'm like, 18-year-old, that's a pretty, it's a young man. And I'm 24, I'm 6 years older than an 18-year-old, which is mind-blowing. And in 6 years from now, I'm going to be 30. That's crazy. And my plan right now, I told you this is going to be the Ramble podcast, so I'm just, lily pad to lily pad. My plan right now is to work at a job that I can tolerate. Right now it's going to be hopefully a cook position in the local hospital, the one my dad works at. I've worked there before as a dishwasher, and the only thing that made it bearable is I had some funny people working there. My friend Eric that I met there, we got to be pretty good friends. He's a really funny, cool guy. And of course, Josiah works there as well, and he's my best friend, so that's great. And work there for as long as I can, as long as I physically can. I do not have many bills. I have my car insurance, gasoline. I'll pay my parents a little bit of rent. Photoshop or Adobe, which is like $60 a month. So all in all, I'll just, I don't have much bills to pay. So I want to save as literally as much as I possibly can in order to eventually, when I'm 45 years old, my parents are like, all right, Riley, you gotta move out. No, hopefully it's a lot before that. I do not plan. I mean, I don't want to take advantage of my parents at all. That's, another reason why I try and help out, and I cook dinner and I do everything. It's two reasons. One, just to make them, to show them how appreciative I am, and I would do it, regardless, just because it makes me feel good. It's almost like I was about to say it's a selfish thing, because I am doing it for them, but I'm doing it for myself as well, because it makes me feel really good helping them. So you can interpret that any way you want. Yeah, work there as long as I can until I can move out comfortably, because, man, life is hard. Life is very difficult, and COVID doesn't help. Doesn't help at all. Something I can talk about is cooking. I be cooking. I am a chef. There was this restaurant that was pretty close to my house called the Fireweed Terrace. It was like a fine dining type restaurant, and the whole backstory is I started as a busser. My good friend Sergey got me the job, and that was actually my second job. My first job was at Home Depot, first cashier, and then a front lot worker where I was pushing around, bringing in all the carts and helping people load and blah, blah, blah. That was hell. Or the cashier part, at least, was. The front lot worker wasn't too bad, actually. But quit that, got a busser position at the Fireweed Terrace. That was terrible, just because, I don't like being around other people, and especially those, there's a bunch of rich, pretentious people that, they felt like they were at, like, some place in Italy where we'd, like, bend over backwards for them. Like, bro, I'm getting paid minimum wage. Like, I'm just some knucklehead that just graduated from high school. I'm not like Francois Pierre that went to busser college. It's like, whatever. But, so yeah, was a busser, and then made friends with everybody that worked there, including the kitchen guys. And one time this one of the old bosses, who turned out to be a big old ball sack, his name was Nick, literally, because he would sack tap everyone, including me. And thinking back to it now, it's like I would have treated that very differently if he did that to me now. But I was like, I don't know, 19, so 20, what are you gonna do? So he's like, you want to do some shifts as a dishwasher, get some more money. I'm like, yeah, sure. Before then, I was the dishwasher at my house. That was my chore. But and now my little brother Jax does that. So I was like, yeah, sure, how hard could it be? It was difficult. So the guy that was the dishwasher there at the time, he trained me. I'm a dishwasher. In a previous life, I think I was the world championship of dishwashers. I don't know. I can just get some dishes clean quickly and efficiently. Like, I am not putting away any dishes that are dirty. You know what I mean? That have still some crust on them. They are getting clean, and they are getting out quick. Like, I was the best in the land. I was the fastest in the West. But that's besides the point. Basically, the guy found out how much better I was, the guy that was training me. So he quit like a week after, or a couple weeks after. I'm like, all right, I'm solo dishwasher. Gave up the busser position. I am the dishwasher. I am working with the cooks. And, that was stressful, honestly, because I like doing things, all jobs, to the absolute best of my ability, as quick as I can, as fast as I can, as proficient as I can, everything. And sometimes, it was only a very short amount of people that worked there. It was probably like cooks is, probably at the time, I think there were only 2 cooks working at the time. So there were 2 guys on the line, and it's a busy restaurant, so they had to get through all of the orders. So they would be like, Riley, go get blah 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 out of the freezer. I'm like, oh Jesus Christ, because I know I had to get it quick, and I had to look through this whole freezer, and I'm like, I don't know what a ginger root is, you know what I mean? Or I didn't go to culinary college, anything like that. I don't know what any of this crap means. I learned quickly. That is one thing you learn very quickly. But yeah, I'd go out and do the best. I'd go into the freezer and get as fast as I can. Man, it was stressful, but I did it because I didn't want to let them down. But eventually they were like, you want to help out on the line? I'm like, and they're like, yeah, it pays a lot more, and it's a lot easier, which, looking back, it would have paid a lot more if I ever got the balls to go in and be like, hey, I got a different job, can I get the raise? And it would have been a lot, and it was not easier. It was harder and more stress. It was easier in different ways and harder in different ways. When you look up and you see, 20 tickets and you're on the first one and you're racking them out, and it's stressful. But they taught me from nothing. They taught me how to do everything, and I don't know. I guess I was just a natural, to be honest. I don't know if I was a natural or I just know how to follow instructions very well. Because I know I'm really good at tutorials. That's how I taught myself. All the Photoshop, After Effects, Final Cut, Blender, blah blah blah. They're all tutorials, and literally, now that I think back to it, I guess I should be pretty impressed with myself that I basically, motivated myself to learn all of that stuff, and that crap's not easy, There's a lot that can go wrong with that crap, but nonetheless, that's besides the point. Yeah, so they taught me how to do everything. Prep cooking. I was a fry cook, which is funny because I grew up watching SpongeBob. I love SpongeBob. Still to this day, I love SpongeBob, and he was a fry cook. And it only makes sense that I became a fry cook at one point. But yeah, they taught me everything, and they were really good chefs. The food there was the best. It was the best restaurant within probably, at least 25 miles anywhere, probably even 50, or I mean, I've yet to find a better restaurant, so that's just me guessing. And my thing was consistency. I was never gonna make one with, um, you bought a burger from me yesterday, it's gonna come out exact same way if I make it, if you get it today. Exact same way. Um, because one thing, I mean, you can't give them more, you know, tenders or whatnot, because then they'll expect that when they come back. But if you give them the right thing every single time, boom, 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 that's what quality is all about. And, sadly, um, we got more people, and their primary objective was to just get things out fast, because they didn't want to be boggled down with tickets and blah blah blah, and didn't want to get backed up. But in turn, the food quality went down, and things would be sent back, so you even get more behind. And it was difficult as well, because it was almost like right at 5, it was dead. I get there at like 11 in the morning. From 11 to 5, probably 2 orders, not exaggerated. 2, maximum 5, from 11 to 5. That's 6 hours. And then right at 5 to when we close, which is like 10 or something. 5 to 10, I mean, so many orders. So it was nonstop. So yes, it made the time go by quick, but and there were some people that were working there that just, you could tell, didn't really enjoy the situation they were in. Maybe they didn't like the job, they didn't like what their home life was, whatever. They just did not have good mentalities towards life, and it was difficult working with people like that. So I eventually gave that up. But one thing that came from that I will be forever grateful is my old boss Wax. I mean, he's another one of those people that just transcend words. Such a special guy. And he was my boss. Not the boss of the whole building, but the boss of the kitchen, the head chef. And he treated us so nicely, or at least me, because he knew because he was all about quality over quantity, and he banged those things. He was the best in the business. And he even said I was faster than him at dishwashing, which says something, because he was also really good. I miss him so much, and I hope he's doing really great. His name is Jeremiah, but his nickname is Wax, and God bless him. He would like bow down. He'd get on his knees and like bow to me. It's just so funny. So much respect for him. That's the thing. It's like, and he knew I had that much respect for him, and I hope he knows. He doesn't know how much respect I have for him, but he knew I would never non-respect him for anything, and he knew that was the dynamic we had. He wasn't like the boss where it's like, do this, do that. He definitely wasn't easy on me. But it wasn't in a bad way at all. But basically, him and another guy named James, they taught me so much about cooking. I mean, prepping, cooking, knife work, sharpening knives, kitchen cleanup. I mean, uh, health standards, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I know a heck of a lot more about the things that truly matter in a kitchen than if I actually went to culinary school. I know that for a fact. Well, I guess I don't know that for a fact, but all I know is I went to my job at Peace Health, and some people that came fresh out of culinary school would always be asking me questions about culinary stuff because, well, they found out that I knew the answers to most things. But basically, that's neither here nor there. Now, I make dinner for my family as many times as I can, really. I mean, we have pizza night, or we go to Little Caesars, or, a local place called Jet City. Or we'll, what else do we do? My mom has these dinners. These easy dinners she likes to make. So I don't have to do it every night, but I like to, at least 3 times a week. Often for when my mom is working, I'll make dinner now. Whether it's teriyaki chicken, I'll make homemade pizza, smash burgers. I don't know why I can't Mongolian beef. I'm making orange chicken tonight, which is why this podcast might be a little early. I need to prep on that. I actually should start on that soon. But making the Panda Express original orange chicken just with some rice noodles, and I love that, and my dad really likes that as well. My mom likes it as well. Yeah, we all like it, and it's funny. It's basically just me, my mom, and my dad eating dinner together every night because one, my little brothers, they don't try anything, and two, it's crazy, this new age of kids. It's like they're just different. They don't try anything. They don't want to eat dinner when we're eating. It's like dinner should be like this sacred thing where you sit down together, and even if you're not going to eat even if you don't want to try, just sit there and talk. I mean, they're just in their rooms a lot of the time, which is understandable because nowadays, you have your computer and TV, phone, games, blah, 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 and it's all in your room. So, you're playing with your friends, blah, 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 but still, it's like, and, it took me a while to realize this as a child as well, but you need to just set some time apart from that and live in the 3D world, for just a little bit. But, they will figure that out whenever they will figure it out, and if they don't, they don't. But yeah, I'm probably going to end this here. Let me know how the quality is. I just got the new GoPro Hero 9. I bought the replacement warranty on Best Buy for my GoPro Hero 7 Black, in 2019, and took that in with the replacement warranty, and because it was getting hot and freezing and things like that, so I was like, yeah, it's hot and freezing, blah blah blah, and they said, okay, we'll try and fix it and send it back to you, blah blah blah. They said they couldn't fix it, so they just refunded the whole amount, and that whole amount happened to be the same price as the brand new GoPro Hero 9. So yeah, that was freaking awesome. So yeah, if you guys want to let me know how the quality looks, I hope that's good. If you guys want any questions or have any questions for me, or anything at all, please ask them or tell me in the comment section. I really do appreciate feedback. But yeah, if you like this video, leave a like. If you want more podcasts, I upload every single Monday, and I will stop when I'm dead. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next Monday. Thank you very much.